My name is Chancellor Rachel Reeves, ceramic bobbed hair by Lego, dress by Lord Ali, and heating provided by the taxpayer. Comrades, I stand here today to remind you of the foundations we're laying for the future. When I became your Prime Minister, not only did I get new hair and glasses, generously provided by a donor who now has full access to 10 Downing Street in my bedroom, but I also promised 3 things. Fully costed, fully funded leadership ***. So costed, so funded, we're essentially the political equivalent of Katie Price. Meanwhile, Katie Hopkins has done it again. Love her or hate her, you cannot ignore her. She's just blown the lid off Keir Starmer's carefully curated persona, exposing the cracks in his leadership of the Labour Party. Hopkins isn't mincing words, she's shredding Starmer's governance, his policies, and his blatant disregard for the people who need a voice the most. Her blunt, unapologetic delivery cuts through the noise, and whether you agree with her or not, her message is resonating with millions of Brits who feel betrayed by their so-called leaders. Hopkins is shining a harsh light on Starmer's alleged attempt to cancel high-profile figures like Nigel Farage and Lee Anderson from platforms like GB News. Yes, you read that correctly. Labour's answer to free speech is to silence it. Because why face criticism when you can simply muzzle it? Starmer's spinelessness, Hopkins argues, is not just pathetic, it's dangerous. Leadership isn't about hiding from dissent, it's about confronting it, head-on, like a grown adult. But Starmer? He'd rather cower behind Angela Rayner's incoherent tirades and her shameless PR stunts. Let's be clear, this isn't leadership, it's a circus. And the betrayal doesn't stop there. Hopkins is hammering on Labour's cruel treatment of pensioners, those who've spent their entire lives contributing to this country, only to be thrown under the bus by an administration obsessed with trendy, abstract causes that do nothing for the people who actually keep this nation afloat. Starmer's Labour doesn't care about the elderly. They're invisible, expendable, and, frankly, inconvenient. Take the latest scandal, energy bills skyrocketing while pensioners freeze to death in their homes. Starmer's solution? Silence. Rachel Reeves' solution? Cryptic economic policies that boil down to, we'll crush the people who don't vote for us. And what happens when pensioners can't scrape together the extra £300, £1,500, or £2,000 needed to stay warm this winter? Hopkins doesn't mince words. They'll die early, and Labour will shrug it off as easing the burden on the NHS. A chilling and damning indictment, but one that rings uncomfortably true. This is the bleak reality under Starmer's government. Starmageddon. Promises broken, trust eroded, and the worst is yet to come. Where's the help for the elderly? Where's the support for the working-class families struggling to make ends meet? Hopkins points out that Labour has the audacity to send £50 million of taxpayers' money to foreign nations while British pensioners shiver in their homes. Why not use that £50 million to help the million pensioners expected to suffer this winter without heating allowances? The silence from Labour is deafening. Hopkins isn't the only one fed up. Public figures like Jeremy Kyle are speaking out too, highlighting Labour's glaring hypocrisy. Kyle has slammed the government's decision to house migrants in hotels while homeless Brits are left to rot on the streets. Hopkins echoes this sentiment, asking why Starmer's Labour prioritises everyone but the British people. Supporting migrants is important, she says, but not at the expense of our own citizens. It's not xenophobic to demand fairness, it's common sense. And let's not forget Starmer's infamous tax promises. Remember when he and Angela Rayner swore up and down that they wouldn't raise taxes? That was before taxes went through the roof, leaving working-class families strangled by financial hardship. For Hopkins, this isn't just an economic issue, it's a betrayal. Labour has abandoned the very people it claims to represent. Rising taxes mean less money for rent, food, and heating. Inflation is already crushing households, and now Labour is pouring salt into the wound. While the wealthy might weather these changes, ordinary families are being forced to choose between basic necessities. Is this the fully funded, fully costed leadership we were promised? Hopkins doesn't hold back in calling out the Labour Party's cowardice. When Labour MPs voted to cut £300 from elderly pensioners' heating allowances, they crossed a line that cannot be forgiven. Hopkins spits venom at the spineless MPs who abstained from the vote, thinking it would absolve them of guilt. Cowards, she calls them, spineless cowards who deserve nothing but contempt. The anger is palpable, and it's shared by millions who are watching their government fail them at every turn. And what about Starmer himself? Hopkins argues that his reactive leadership style is a complete disaster. He doesn't lead, he reacts. He doesn't innovate, he deflects. Every decision feels like a PR stunt designed to appease an elite few while alienating the millions who actually need real solutions. Hopkins isn't just criticizing Starmer, she's eviscerating him as one of the weakest leaders in recent memory. As winter looms, the public frustration grows louder. People are freezing. Families are struggling. Pensioners are dying. And Labour? Labour is busy pandering to its international allies, handing out taxpayer money and silencing dissent. Hopkins' message is clear. The British public won't stand for it. This isn't just about politics, it's about survival. Starmer's Labour has failed to deliver on its promises, and the people are paying the price. Hopkins is demanding accountability, and she's not alone. Whether Starmer can rise to the challenge and restore trust remains to be seen, but one thing is certain, the British public is watching, waiting, and running out of patience.